Hello everyone, welcome to part 2 of this replay. We're going to have some Zealots now moving out and some High Templars moving out again. Asking for 3 to go out, not exactly sure what that means. Is there a 3 player? Nope, not quite sure. And now we have Jimpo, or HLA. So we have a command center now being built at these high yield minerals. And Phoenix's a quick scanner sweep revealing this whole entire army, and now the Marauders and Marines gonna go ahead and try to intercept this. We do have some High Templars being warped in over here, and that is gonna be bad news. And we have one photon cannon in that position. Yeah, Attack Socke does see that photon cannon being warped in, and now we also have an Archon being merged over here. So this is very, very interesting. That Archon will be able to merge and then deal a lot of damage very quickly. And you're going to go ahead and start attacking, and he does additional damage towards bionic units. So that Planetary Fortress getting a couple quick shots off, and that Planet Archon is going to get taken down very, very easily. Planetary Fortress versus that, and now another 2 High Templars once again being warped in, and this has just got to be annoying. Are we going to get a couple more Psi Storms in? Not exactly sure. Trying to get some Zealots in first to try to draw that damage, and now Attack Socke should be able to get some Psi Storms, but back over here, nice Psi Storms coming in, and a lot of damage being dealt over here as Marines, Marauders, Psi Storm, and now more High Templars coming in. So those, we should see a significant number, but a nice EMP shockwave, but hitting only 2 or 3 of those units, not hitting the necessary units. And there comes that Psi Storm. Marines and Marauders being forced to pull back so many units in the orange and yellow damage range. And wow, this one of those 5, 4, and 0 kills here. But down goes this Nexus, and the High Templar just hanging out over here by the Planetary Fortress. Gonna come in. There we go. 2 quick Psi Storms. More and more units getting taken down, and another quick merge coming in. So this Archon will be able to get another merge and get more damage in, as well as we have another proxy pylon setting up over there. It looks as though one this pylon was taken down, so this carrier is now stuck in that warp gate, unable to do any additional training, as this carrier over here has 7 quick kills. Now going to train up more interceptors, and pylon finally taken down, so no additional warp in, and one Marauder going to try to take down this pylon over here. Attack Socke ATN Socke not going to use anything with that High Templar, and now this this factory should get taken down fairly easily. Phoenix Skywalker is just gonna cause that building to burn to a crisp and then fall to the ground. Back over here, Jimpo sitting on a Planetary Fortress, and now unable to get the Psi Storm off of that one High Templar, and now those units firing up to that high ground. And yeah, there are units, those medevacs are able to see up onto that high ground, so those Marauders able to shoot up on right next to that Zelnaga Watchtower. In comes a couple of these units. We have some High Templars. We may get a graviton beam up on that Marine, take down the Marine, and then take down some other units as well. We have another carrier joining in, so those carriers are not upgraded though. Those, however, and these Marines and these Marauders especially have 2 armor each. So those so the attack of those interceptors are only going to be dealing 6 per round of attack. Zealots now being warped in over here, as Jimpo using this very, very mobile army to continue to just try to put a lot of pressure. We do have a Warp Prism giving a power field over here, so this Warp Prism giving a power field over here, we could have a backdoor drop as well, perhaps hitting some of these production buildings. Zealots now coming in, perhaps we will see the destruction of some supply depots, but Marines, Marauders now coming in over here, gonna take down this Nexus once again. Zealots now perhaps trying to come in, and now the Psi Storm coming in, another EMP shockwave coming in, and down go a lot of those medevacs. Nice use of force fields, splitting up this whole entire army, and those units are unable to really escape. More Psi Storm, and wow, Jimpo's army just taking a significant amount of damage over here. We do have enough energy for maybe 2 or 3 more Psi Storms, but this whole entire army is really too low. And now as these Zealots are going to start destroying Jimpo's supply depots, things are going to be very, very difficult for Jimpo to even try to retrain the rest of this army over here. Now seen it at 150 over 181, perhaps going to lose the armory, but these units are not upgraded at all. 0 upgrades, as these Marines and Marauders should be able to drop down in come these rest of these units. Jimpo does have a full medevac over here, and able to finish off and clean up the rest of these Zealots. So 162 over 164. Now currently supply locked. Another Psi Storm hitting off a lot of those units, going to perhaps lose that Warp Prism. No, Warp Prism not going to go down. And now carriers pressuring over here at the main, or at the high yield minerals with those carriers with those interceptors. 3 carriers, very, very strong. Vikings should be able to come in and try to do some damage, but I do not think that he's currently training Vikings. No, still training more and more medevacs. Marines trying to come in as well. Those Marines are upgraded I believe have 3-2 now. So wow, those Marauders only take 4 damage per interceptor attack, and the Marines only take 6. Back over here, we do have a couple of medevacs in position trying to, medevacs like just not really doing anything else, but 1 or 2 feedbacks, and those units will get destroyed very easily. Down goes those 2 medevacs as this Marine medic ball, Marine Marauder medic ball moving out once again. We do have 2 carriers sitting over here, and Socke does not see that how large this army is. Wow, one of those medevacs down to 2 energy and 2 hit points and 0 energy over here. So those medevacs are not able to really deal any real healing as those probes are now being transferred from one location to another. So attack ATN Socke doing a great job. And now, oh, this poor carrier going to get taken down by the high movement speed of stimmed Marines. Psystorm now coming in, and oh, so much damage being dealt off of those. So army-wise, Jimpo still sitting on the larger army. Medevacs still in the air trying to heal up the rest of this whole entire fight. And now carriers doing a little, doing some intercepting as well. Perhaps we'll be able to take down another medevac. No, that medevac not taken down. And the Ghost perhaps trying to get an EMP shockwave off. A quick scanner sweep, and we may get an EMP shockwave on all of those High Templars, and that's going to be very, very bad. There's that EMP shockwave, beautifully done by Jimpo, and Jimpo losing so much Psystorm there. So wow, that was a very, very heavy hit, and now Jimpo not having to deal with that Psystorm, doing a great job. So Marauders now able to just go ahead and pressure on in. We do have some carriers finishing off some of those medevacs, and now more Psystorm coming in, and now Jimpo is going to be in trouble as the rest of that Psystorm is just going to rip through more and more of that. It goes down to 1 hit point, down it goes. Marauders now getting torn apart as the carriers only have to deal with a couple straggling Marines, and the rest of these Marauders are not going to be able to deal any damage towards this whole entire attack force. So Marauders, all of them in below 10 or 20 hit points, gonna take a significant damage, but with no weapons upgrade on these carriers, those Marauders are really taking no damage from those carriers. So it really takes a lot of damage, in order to really be able to do anything there. So these carriers still doing a great job. We do have more Marines being trained up. Marines are now 3-3. So 3-3 Marines moving out against an army of carriers. These carriers not upgraded, and I think that's going to be the problem for Socke. Socke not going to be able to deal with these just pimped out Marines and Marauders. One Zealot now coming in over here, just going to get torn apart very easily, as there's only a couple mineral patches over here. No full saturation. Taking a look at the harvester count, Jimpo is significantly behind, sitting at 56 harvesters. And a lot of these harvesters now being transferred over here, but 1 High Templar getting destroyed. Observer is being able to keep track of this base over here. Down goes that last Marauder, but these carriers now going to move out. Banshee is trying to put a lot of pressure onto the main nexus over here. Socke now sitting at 1500 minerals. Banshee is going to get torn apart. Down goes a Banshee, and that last Banshee finally down to 50 hit points, able to escape through the smoke, and that Banshee moving a little bit faster than the carrier, able to deal some damage. And now we have just another group of Zealots now getting torn apart. Marauders and Marines all low on hit points, trying to stay out of sight and not get hit by any Psystorms or get picked off. We do have a couple 4 High Templars sitting off over here, and we have a lot of minerals still for Socke. We still have a lot of minerals for Socke. Back over here, carriers now moving out once again, and will they be able to deal enough damage? Focusing down a lot of those air units, first trying to do, I guess, some hit and attack. Vikings now able to join in on that fight as well. That carrier trying to capture some of those units in transition. One of those Marines now pushing back against the rest of these carriers as those Marauders are now moving forward. High Templars on that high ground, able to really separate this whole entire force. And now Jimpo is stuck between a very, very difficult situation as he's forced to fight onto that high ground. He does have those Marines with stim, but those carriers are able to pull away from that high ground, and those Marines are unable to really catch anywhere. Another great Psystorm group, and wow, so much Psystorm coming in. Jimpo has a stronger economy at this stage in the game. Army-wise, he also has a stronger army as we have probes being transferred and Psystorm hitting so many of these units. And now in comes another group. Banshee's now trying to join in on this fight, and more units being worked in. An EMP shockwave hitting that, but another High Templar still having enough energy, and Zealots still being warped in over here. This whole entire army battle group is very, very low on hit points. Medevacs in the air trying to continue to repair some of these units, but not much can really be done, and still I do not see any weapons upgrade for these carriers. So these Marauders that are 3-3 are still having a field day, able to just feel pokes from those interceptors. Instead of dealing 10 damage, only dealing 4 against those marauders, and not even 4. Is it 4? No. Dealing 2 damage against those marauders per from each of those interceptors, and 4 damage towards those marines. Yeah, that's definitely a significant amount of armor for those units. Army-wise, those Socke now seen at 4375 compared to Jimpo's 2850 production. 10 marines against 10 marines still being trained up and not very minerals to sit on. Really needs to deal more, and another Archon being warped in. So Archons with High Templar destroying SCVs and then coming in to finish the job with that slight splash damage from those Archons. Carriers once again moving out as we have those very, very slow High Templars bringing up the rear. Marines, Marauders, more Ghosts need to be trained up. I do not see any Ghost in that clump right there, as now we have more Psystorm coming in. And another Psystorm hitting on those units, and now we're going to have an Archon merge. Archon merging over here. Medevac, and this Archon will get taken down to the focus of to all of these Marines and Marauders. Back over here, we now have Carriers once again intercepting, going to catch a couple of Jimpo's units out of position, as this army is going to go ahead and regroup. All of these SCVs are going to get taken down very easily if he's not careful. One Stalker sitting here and using that high ground. Psystorm coming in. Marauders do not want to engage, still walking through more and more Psystorm, and oh my goodness, so many of Jimpo's units simply destroyed there. Only the Medevac was taken down, and now those Marauders are low on hit points and will stay low on hit points, unable to defend the Carriers pushing in. Those SCVs still have significant armor, but if you focus on the Orbital Command, should be able to take it. No, needs to still take down those SCVs, as those SCVs are repairing, and this Orbital Command will go down. Only has 1 armor. That's kind of funny that an Orbital Command has less armor than an SCV. Back over here, we have Ghost, and now more Psystorm coming in. And really, Socke doing a great job with only Carriers. One of those Carriers has 30 kills. So 30 kills on one carrier, the battle of a lifetime, as this High Templar once again moves out. Perhaps we'll get some Psystorm over here, catching a couple Marauders once again out of position, and still no weapons upgrade. Getting a weapons upgrade at this stage in the game would double the effectiveness of an interceptor, and that's how a lot of the math works in StarCraft 2. Upgrades are significantly important. If you do not have upgrades and your opponent has armor upgrades, and units that have a very, very small attack number but have a high attack rate, such as battle cruisers and carriers, and essentially deal little to no damage. That's one of the reasons why Ultralisk can tear apart Zerglings if the Ultralisk is fully upgraded and Zerglings are not upgraded at all. Stay tuned for part 3 of this replay between Socke and Jimpo here on Metalopolis.